All right, good morning and welcome to Coffee Walk. We're gonna hit on some CJs today. We got our beautiful 1J vintage red metallic 1981 Scrambler is finished. We're gonna go check it before it leaves. It's leaving tomorrow. Then we've got our 360 built by Wells Racing with all kinds of great goodies on it. Edelbrock aluminum heads, Edelbrock intake, Hedman headers, Phytech fuel injection, Edelbrock valve covers, on and on and on. It's running and it's awesome. It sounds great. It's making a lot of power. It's really cool to drive. And then at the tail end, had a lot of questions when we did the Patina clear coat on the 86 Renegade. I'm gonna walk you back to the body shop, go through the process and tell you how we do it and show you another one in the booth. So we were honored again that this guy entrusted us with his Scrambler. We've had over 1,000 Scramblers through Collins Brothers, bought, sold, serviced, and restored. We did a killer cosmetic exterior restoration on this Jeep, and we added some options that weren't on the Jeep when he bought it new. Now, the exterior of this Jeep is basically how it left the factory. We also did a big mechanical service, and the two things we added that it didn't have when it left was power brakes, which, by the way, we designed this kit. The part number on this kit is BM1402. You can go to CBJEEP.com to get it. We also added air conditioning to this Jeep. You can see the compressor set up over here. And then we'll look inside the Jeep and see the underdash setup. Says brand new AC kit. And the AC kits, if your Jeep didn't come with air conditioning from the factory, you can also go to CBJEEP.com, type in AC kit, you'll see all the different kits. They're very OE correct looking. And also a lot of times if your Jeep did come with AC, they're so old now, when we start repairing them, it's kind of like putting a finger in the dike. A lot of times it's cheaper just to put a whole new kit in. Now here's another rare decal that we have reproduced right here. This is for the automatic CJs. This is the approximate position where it goes, somewhere here, somewhere here. If you're lucky enough to have a Jeep CJ with an automatic in it, they were less than 20% of production, and they were SPO, special order options only. They weren't regular production orders. They weren't found at the dealership because they only made them twice a year, and this is an automatic. So this is a very rare Scrambler in the fact that it is a Renegade package, which is an SR versus a base model. Then the SLR would have been the Laredo. Now this customer also chose to go with spray-in liner. And he also chose to color key it, which I think looks really neat. And then he wanted to upgrade his seats because he wanted headrest. So what he did is he went with the best top seats with the built-in headrest. And then he also chose, he wanted to put a stereo system in it. Now, what we put in most of these Jeeps is we have a kit that's made by Retro Sound, so you don't have to cut the dash. Cutting a dash in one of these Jeeps is just a cardinal sin. That is a no-no, don't do it. And if you have to replace one that somebody has hacked up, some stereo shop has hacked up in the past, you're talking 16 hours of labor, and it becomes quite expensive. So you can see the Retro Sound radio is now in the Jeep. You can hear the fuel injection kicking on. And there's the AC unit hanging under the dash. Very OE correct look. So another one done and heading down the road back to its original owner to start a joint again tomorrow. Now here's the 360 we built. Big cam, Edelbrock heads, Wells Racing assembled it. Man, this thing is so fun to drive. It is really making good power. I feel like it's making probably definitely north of 300, could be 350, but I want you to hear this run. It's great. And I love the fact that the customer chose to go with an AMC motor and not something other than would have come in a AMC or Jeep product. Get you some of that sound. This thing is awesome. This guy said, not only do I want it to get my attention, I want an attention getter. I think we accomplished it on that one. Now, as the CJs are becoming harder and harder to come by for a really good loaded up option CJ, don't pass on one that doesn't have it. This guy brought this Jeep into us about 5 years ago. We did a cosmetic exterior restoration, lift kit, wheels and tires, and a spray liner, and he wanted to stop there. Now he brought it back in this time. He has been driving it quite a bit, has actually four-wheeled it quite a bit. We had to pressure wash it and clean it back up. He said, all right, I'm tired of the four-cylinder, because I had a four-cylinder for the factory. He goes, I want a six-cylinder. So we put a correct 4.2 in with the Holley Sniper kit, which is the fuel injection. What's neat about the four-cylinders, when you upgrade them to six-cylinders, these came from the factory with 410 gears. Some people say 411 gears. You want to get into semantics this morning, it's kind of early for that. But this thing's going to just absolutely drive totally different. When you put the fuel injection on the 4.2, it really livens up the motor, and go from a four-cylinder to six-cylinder, I think this guy is going to be thrilled. Now the next upgrade that I think he needs is this Jeep you see down in here is a manual steering Jeep. It does not have power steering. Now, in the past, and even now, a lot of times when we run up on a low mileage Jeep, a lot of times because it didn't have power steering and people didn't like to drive them, so they sat around. So miles are everything when you're buying one of these, especially if you're going to start a restoration. If you find a low mileage Jeep, and even if it's a four-cylinder with no power steering, don't pass on it. Or if you do pass on it, send the lead to us at social@cbjeep.com. Those are some of the best platforms to start a build, because they hadn't been abused as hard, because they didn't have a 6 or an 8 in them, and they're a great vehicle to do a conversion on. So this is going to be really come to life. Now we did go ahead and pull the front clip off of this and painted this inside because it wasn't done before. So this engine bay is going to look beautiful. But this guy actually uses this Jeep, and I think he's going to be thrilled. He has it with fuel injection, 6-cylinder, and power steering. Now let's go in the back. I want to show you the black Laredo. We shot this last week. Tyler's got the clip of it in the booth. He'll probably pop that in and you can see what's going on. But this is a black Laredo with YJ half doors. Now, if you've got a 76 to 80 Jeep, your strikers would be different on the inside, as in your rotary latch will not work on them, or a paddle handle door won't. So we've got these by Black Mountain that will fit inside. These things are packed incredibly well. For the doors, these are your door strikers, and of course you got R for right and L for left. But these bolt inside, right in here. So when you shut your door, it latches. But you can also use these on any CJ 7 or Wrangler from 76 all the way to 1995. This is a really neat piece. The reason I'm showing it to you is we've had these for the last probably 15 years. We were out of them for a while. People were pretty disappointed. We've got them back in stock. Part number BM1410. These are your door strikers. Now, the stripe kit's starting to go on this Jeep, and we've got the flares, rocker moldings, and he's got one of the Laredo stripes on here. This is a pretty complex kit with lots of moving pieces, lots of parts. We always highly recommend when you have these kits done that you have a professional install them, because it's a relatively expensive kit. It's time consuming, but it's so worth it when they're done and done right. My guys know exactly where they go. And when we put a stripe kit on, in my opinion, it's better than when the factory did it. Now, we had a lot of people ask the question and love the Patina black Renegade with the blue stripe. So we've got another one in the booth. I want to explain the process of how we do that. Okay, now the reasons ours turn out so well is we actually take everything off the Jeep. We've seen a lot of people do it, and they're trying to tape things off. It's just not the way to do it. You need to take the Jeep all the way down as if you were going to paint the Jeep. Once we get everything off of it, we pull it outside, and we actually have a solution that we use. It's a degreaser and a wax remover, and we steam clean the whole body. And then we pull it inside, and we take a DA with 800 grit, and we sand everything, any rust area, or all the areas on the Jeep until they're flat. So the key is get your rust, whatever patina rust it is showing, and make it flat. And then we throw 3 layers of clear. We left the original Jeep decals on here, which I think is really cool. You can see all the cracking and crazing in them. This is a 1980 color code OJ teal blue. I mean, this Jeep earned its stripes. This patina is so cool on here, and it took 40 years to get here. Even the doors we disassemble all the way down. People always ask, how do your patina jobs turn out so good? Well, we put time in them. Now this is kind of neat. You can see some of the white stripes are still here. Still got a little bit of them here. But even in the insides of the doors, we completely disassemble. And once this goes back together, this Jeep will have such a cool look, and we'll show it to you next week. Another thing that I think would be neat on this Jeep, and I'm going to have to get the customer's approval to do this, is you can still see where the stripes all were, because when you have a painted stripe on a Jeep, the paint will actually blend and eat into the paint itself. So what I would like to do is get our pinstripe guy, his name's Daniel Gay, he's an incredible artist, he's from the area, to come back in and lay these stripes back down on top of this clear where they were before. I think it would just really set this Jeep off. And again, you can see right here where the strikers, where I was talking about, will screw right here for the door strikers. So there you have it. Steam clean, degrease, wax removal, 800, 3 coats of clear. Please like, tag, share, and follow. I hope you guys have a great day. Have a great CJ day. If you got a CJ, get it out of your garage and enjoy it. If you need parts, go to CBJEEP.com.